8 division of radicals questions. So 8, the majority, the bulk of the test comes from that radicals homework.
So is it going to be like
Then 2 will be review questions on stuff that was on your last test.
Are you going to be the 8 that's on test?
No. And then factoring, 2 factoring. So I want you to solve for x, and then I don't care which way you factor. I'm going to factor with the chart because I think it's easier. But if you another way works for you, that's fine. I'm not going to be picky about that. All right. A times C, I put it in the upper left. A times C equals -30. And then B is just 7. So then I need 2 numbers that multiply to give me -30 and add to give me +7. And if you, those, not 10 and 7, 10 and 3. It needs to be -3 because when I add them I need to get a +7. And when I multiply the 10 times -3 it gives me -30.
I don't know why, but this factor.
Alright, to get my 2 parentheses, I'm going to make 2 fractions. Put 10 under one, -3 under the other, and cancel out what I can. 6, I can cancel a 2 out of the 6, and I'm left with 3. I can take a 2 out of the 10, and I'm left with 5. 3 out of the 3 is a 1. 3 goes in 3 one time. 3 goes in 6 twice. Alright, so now after I produce those fractions, I can make my 2 parentheses. So I've got 3x plus 5 times 2x minus 1, and they all equal 0. Then from there, since it told me to solve for x, I said each parentheses individually equal to 0. So I said each one equal to 0.
And then you just work it out.
Then you just work them out individually. And if you, I don't care if you, like, if you can see that this is, that 3x plus 5 is x is equal to -3/2, x is equal to 1/2. If you see that automatically, I don't care if you show me you can work out a 2-step equation. But if not, you can work it out if you need to. So then this would be one of your answers. Then this would be your other answer. So you'd have 2 answers for these questions most of the time.
It's funny. It's beautiful. Gosh, I love the colors.
Thanks.
Great example too.
Our first step on these problems are to split it up top and bottom.
Oh, okay, that's a 6, not a B.
Yeah.
That got me. I was like, what?
A to the 6th, and then the square root of b to the 5th. Then I need to simplify the top and the bottom separately. Alright, so I can, the square root of a to the 6th is going to be a to the 3rd, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. Then b to the 5th, 5 divided by 2 is 2, and then I have a remainder of 1, so I'm going to have 1b left on the inside. But I can't have a square root on the bottom. So I'm going to multiply by the square root of b on the top and the square root of b on the bottom. So that's going to give me a to the 3rd root b over what? B to the 3rd.
I can actually do this.
Okay, so the first step is to split it up on the top and the bottom. Then I need to see if I can simplify the top or the bottom. I cannot simplify the top,
You can do the bottom now.
but I can simplify the bottom because I can split up the 27 into 3 threes. So I've got one set of 3s. So I can pull out 1 3, and then I have
Remainder of x.
an x on the left on the inside. Then I need to get that radical off the bottom.
Times by x squared.
Since it's a cube root, I have to multiply by a cube root on top and bottom.
X squared.
I already have one x on the bottom. I need 3 to be able to pull 1 out. So I need to multiply by 2 more x's. And since I'm doing that on the bottom, I also have to do that on the top. So when I do that on the bottom, it leaves me with 3. And then I have these 3 x's, so I can pull 1 x out. So I have 3x on the bottom. And then when I multiply all this together, I'm going to have 3x squared on the top.
I cannot write 2.
That's the same one as the
So I need to multiply by the conjugate of the bottom. Got to multiply that on the top and multiply that on the bottom.
Like repeating that twice.
Spanish.
It's been no.
So now, alright, my answer is going to be one big fraction. Alright, so on the bottom, I don't have to do the whole distributive property as we talked about because it's like a difference of squares. Alright, so we can do, we're going to have 5 minus 3 on the bottom. Because the square root of 5 times square root of 5, square root of 5 times square root of 5 is 5. And then the square root of 3 times square root of 3 is just 3. Then on the top I've got 4. So first,
It's gonna be a long number.
the first terms go together. It's going to be 3 root 2 times root 5, which I've only got one number, so that's going to be 3. And square root of 2 times the square root of 5 is going to be square root of 10.
Yes.
Then I multiply the 2 outside, which is going to be, it's going to be plus because they're both positive. Then the square root of 3 root 2 times root 3 is going to give me 3 root 6. Then the 2 insides. Now this is the, I want you to get quicker at pulling these out. The 2 inside. The square root of 5 times square root of 5 is just 5. And then 2 times 5 is going to give me 10. It's going to be plus 10.
Alright, show me.
Okay, so from here, then I got to multiply the 2 outside the 2 last terms. So 2 root 5 times root 3 is going to give me 2 root 15.
So fast.
Oh no.
So now from there, I need to simplify if I can. Can I combine any like terms on the top?
No.
No. Now here, this is where I want to talk about simplifying something. Alright, in order for me to be able to simplify this any further, I need to check every number in front of the radical. Alright, so you got to check 3, 3, 2, and the number by itself. So I got to check all of them. They all have to be divisible by some number in order for it to simplify. Like if I started back here, I check 2 and 2. I can cancel something out there, right? 10 and 2. I can cancel something out there. I can't cancel out a 3 and a 2. So I can't do anything with any of it. So I'm just going to leave it like this. This is more simplified than anything else.
I was thinking about
Yeah, this was a simple one. So we still multiply by the conjugate on the bottom and the top. Except on the top, we're not going to have to full. We're going to get to do what?
Just multiply.
Distributive property.
Just multiply.
You can put a 3.
Oh, I did. See, that's what y'all have to correct me on these things.
Better than that makes me fun of you.
Yeah. Okay. So from here, all right, on the bottom, I'm just got to multiply the front together and multiply the back together. So square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. Square root of 2 times square root of 2, 2. Then on the top, I have distributive property. So on the top, I have 2 root 3 minus 2 root 2.
Bam.
Distributive property. So 2 root 3 comes from 2 times root 3. 2 times root 2. And since this is positive, this is negative, minus in the middle. Then from here, I can't combine the top numbers together. Alright, and then 3 minus 2 is 1. So do we really have to put the 1 there?
No.
No. So this is my final answer.